Howdy folks, it's Carsen Taite, and welcome to my weekly video log. It's Tuesday, September 22nd, and I'm wearing the hat for a reason. As promised, tonight is the drawing in our contest, the Two Name Two Book contest. I put out a challenge a couple of weeks ago. Can you name the two characters that were in TrueLesbianLove.com and It Should Be a Crime? I received thousands of entries, well, a lot. And tonight I'm going to draw for the lucky winner, and I said I'd do it for my hat, and I will. So we're going to put all the names in the hat, and we're going to shake it all about. Hat, names in hat. Not real good with this directional thing. Like my hat head? Okay. And we're going to close our eyes. And we're going to draw a name. And okay, we're going to put the hat back on because it's a little distressful with the hat head. Okay, our lucky winner is Sue. And I have Sue's email address. And so I will send her an email, and then I will snail mail her this lovely t-shirt. TrueLesbianLove.com book cover. And I will get that out to her right away. Thank you, Sue, and everyone else who participated in the contest. The answers were Amy Howard and Sally Gannon, but I also gave correct credit for Mackenzie Lewis because she was mentioned in both books, even though her actual persona did not appear in It Should Be a Crime. If you haven't read the book, you can still buy it for a while now at a bookstore. And if I could just get that right, that's right, It Should Be a Crime. Also out this month is Romantic Interludes Secrets. It's an anthology of bold stroke book author short stories, romance short stories, love stories. I have a story in there. It's called Privileged and Confidential. It's my first attempt at a short story. I'd be anxious to hear your feedback. As promised, today I'm going to do a reading from my upcoming novel, Do Not Disturb, which comes out in June 2010. This book is about a rock star who's on the run, disguises herself. Her name is Greer Davis in some places and Trey in others, Trey Cardone, and Ainsley Faraday, who is managing a hotel takeover in Santa Fe. Both women are in Santa Fe. The book is set there. They met on the plane. They meet again in Santa Fe, and Trey makes a lunch date with Ainsley, but Greer, the other half of Trey, is kind of regretting it, and that's where this scene picks up. So I'm going to read that selection to you now. And they're in the lobby of the El Dorado Hotel in Santa Fe. The tall, potted plant was a perfect screen. Greer felt well hidden from the well-heeled guest checking into the El Dorado, but she had a perfect view of the entry between the thin leaves directly into the lobby. She hoped no one would choose this particular moment to water the plants. In her disheveled state, they'd probably mistake her for a homeless person and escort her out the door. Then again, this was the city different. It'd be perfectly normal for superstars like Julia Roberts or Val Kilmer to wander into the nice hotel dressed like they'd spent a day working on the ranch. She'd simply be mistaken for an eccentric celebrity. The thought made Greer almost hit her head on the pillar behind her as she jerked away from the plant. The last thing she needed was to draw attention to herself by lurking in the greenery. She stood up straight, trying to act normal, whatever that was. Right now, normal was anything but. Normal would have included a limo driver holding open the door for her and her entourage, and swarms of bellmen vying for the chance to carry her bags, while hotel guests hoped she would stop to sign autographs. Normal would have been the finest suite the hotel had to offer, with champagne on ice waiting for her arrival, courtesy of the manager. Normal would have been Greer setting the terms for this date, or whatever it was, and those terms would not have involved waiting behind a potted plant for the other woman to arrive. Greer mulled over the disadvantages of her current circumstance and decided she didn't have to make things worse by having lunch with a stranger and pretending to be a normal person when she was a rock star. She patted the leaves of her plant shield back in place, firmly grasped the plastic bag holding her new hair color, and started toward the door. She had just enough cash left to grab a sandwich somewhere and take it to the park for lunch, where she could be herself, by herself. She took 2 steps and smashed into Ainsley Faraday for the second time that day. Trey? I'm so sorry I didn't see you behind that plant. Are you okay? Greer shut her eyes and willed herself far away. Was she destined to keep running, literally, into this woman? When she opened her eyes, she quickly realized sheer will wasn't strong enough to get her out of the situation. She would have to make some excuse and get the hell out. She opened her mouth to give a plausible explanation for her departure, but when she started to walk, she realized she had acquired a souvenir from this latest run-in. Ouch! Oh my God, your lip is swelling. Did I hit you in the face? Greer looked pointedly at the taller woman's shoulder and nodded. She'd have to start watching where she was going. Here she was, standing in the lobby of one of the most popular hotels in a popular tourist destination, with a fat lip and a blazing red wig that was probably off kilter again. She had to start paying more attention if she was going to stay in hiding until the press died down. Greer mumbled something that she hoped sounded like she needed to go, and started toward the door. Ainsley's hand held her in place. Wait, let me get you some ice. In my room. Come to my room and I'll get you some ice. For your lip. If you put something on it right away, the swelling will go down. Greer wavered. No telling how late her sister was going to work, and she was stuck in town until she got off her shift. No sense wandering around all day with a fat lip. She resolved to leave as soon as the swelling went down. She looked at the hand holding hers and nodded. Ainsley led her to the elevator and punched the button for the presidential suite. Ainsley was thankful a bucket of ice remained from breakfast. She feared if she left Trey in the room alone, she'd bolt. Now that she thought about it, Trey had looked like she wanted to bolt from the moment they met on the plane. I wonder if she's from Chicago, and if so, why I haven't seen her before. She looked vaguely familiar, but Ainsley was certain if she'd seen her in the Windy City, she would have remembered. Trey was certainly part chameleon. Something was different about her even today. As Trey carefully applied a washcloth full of ice cubes to her lower lip, Ainsley tried to figure it out. Finally it hit her. You're wearing sunglasses. Trey flinched and reached a hand up to feel the frames, but she didn't remove them. Yes, I'm very sensitive to light. Ainsley couldn't see the other woman's eyes, but the rest of her body language told her what she needed to know. She was certain Trey hadn't been wearing sunglasses when she'd admired the sun-drenched mountain vistas from the window of her plane. Even though she knew Trey was lying, she decided to play the perfect host. She walked over to the tall vertical blinds and pulled them shut, reducing the light to one small bedside lamp. Is that better? Trey fingered the frames again, but didn't remove the shades. Yeah, that's better. Thanks. I'll order us some lunch. With a pointed look at Trey's lip, Ainsley continued. Would soup be okay? Actually, I'm not hungry. Trey's eyes sought the door. I should probably get going. Ainsley resisted the urge to point out that lunch had been Trey's idea. It was obvious she'd rather be any place but here. Ainsley didn't make a habit of chasing women, and normally she would have gladly led the unwilling woman to the door. But something about this particular prospect pushed her to try harder. Ainsley considered her options. Trey wasn't going to stick around for a meal, that was for sure. What would keep her present and interested? A recent memory surfaced, and Ainsley smiled at the quick and sure answer to her dilemma. Careful to avoid Trey's swollen lower lip, she leaned in, placed her hand at the back of Trey's neck, and pulled her into a soft, warm kiss. A slow, delicious burn coursed down her spine, and she leaned into the flame. The end of the scene. I hope you want more. And there'll be more next June 2010. In the meantime, from Dallas, since we just celebrated Pride weekend, I'd like to wish you a happy Pride. I'd like to invite you to check out my website, CarsenTaite, carsentate.com. And there you can get information on how to purchase my books and the new romantic interludes Secrets, as well as check out the dates for Provincetown Women's Week. There'll be over 26 Bold Strokes book authors in attendance. We'll be there to meet and greet you. We love to meet our readers. I look forward to seeing you there. There's links to the full schedule at carsentate.com. Thanks again for another great week. I look forward to seeing you next week on my video log or vlog. Signing out. Have a good evening.